Hello, friends. Sam Mateo coming to you with another exciting episode of The Brand. Can you feel it? Can you feel my excitement? I love dogs. Absolutely love dogs. I've had several in my many years on this planet, but my favorite by far has been my little guy, who is co-hosting the show today. I want everybody to say hello to the mighty Zeus. Zeus, my man. Hey, Zeus. Hey, buddy. Can you say hi to everybody out there watching the show? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to dial it back. You're a little rambunctious today, so you're gonna need to kind of dial it back, and maybe our guests can show you some. That was it. All right, so we're talking canines today. And maybe we can get some training tips for this little guy. Today on the show, always faithful dog training. Cailyn Barnum and Abraham Mashal. This is an interesting story. Cailyn reached out to me, did her application. We had a really good talk on the phone. We said, yeah, we got to do this. We got to do this show. And I said, it would be really cool because Cailyn is a franchisee opening up a franchise of Always Faithful Dog Training here in Charlotte. And I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool? She was telling me how cool the owner is, the founder of the company. So this is actually our first national level interview and local level interview, national/local, as we are talking Always Faithful dog training, their unique model and approach to dog training, the new franchise opening up here in Charlotte. And we're also going to hear from the founder of the company today and talk about his rise to success. So without further ado, let's get this thing going. Abraham and Cailyn, thank you so much for coming on The Brand today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Abraham, we got you? Excellent. Yeah. Awesome. So, well-behaved little guy right there, right? We're not, in your professional opinion, we're not seeing any behavioral problems exhibited at the moment.
I'm not seeing anything. It looks good to me. It looks like a stuffed animal, so just chilling.
Yeah.
Here, let me hold him up. Come here. You guys got to see this little dude. This is the mighty Zeus.
Man, look at that hair. Got way better hair than me, buddy.
Right? Look at that. He's beautiful. He is the pride of our house. He is a wolf sable toy Pomeranian. We're so happy with him. Say hi to everybody, Zeusy. I'm going to go ahead and put you back down here. If you want to chime into the show, my friend, you're welcome to. But yeah, I can't even believe everything I heard about getting a really smart Pomeranian is true. I mean, he's like a little person in his personality, but unfortunately he doesn't have thumbs and he can't make me coffee in the morning. So that's kind of a bummer, but he really, really, really is awesome. And let me tell you, he is not spoiled at all.
I can tell.
I'm sure.
All right, let's get this show going. The Brand. We all know what The Brand is about. The Brand is about our guest. What is The Brand? Well, in this case, Cailyn and Abraham are The Brand. Always Faithful Dog Training. I'm going to start with you, Cailyn, since this is a local show and we are talking about Charlotte businesses. You're starting a franchise here in Charlotte. So before we get to Abraham and his story, why don't we go ahead, Cailyn, tell me about you, why Always Faithful Dog Training, right? What does it mean to be a franchisee? We haven't discussed the topic of franchising yet here on the show. Tell us a little bit about that. And then we're going to go ahead and bring Abraham into the mix and learn a little bit about the company and really how you guys met. How did this all go down? So, Cailyn, You have the floor.
Sounds great. So, thank you very much. So, I'm excited to share that Always Faithful Dog Training launched officially in Charlotte this past November. So, we have been operating for a couple months now, and it's been so exciting to serve our local community. For me, I've been a lifelong dog lover, and I've always believed that every dog deserves to have a great life. I know firsthand how impactful it can be to have a well-behaved dog in your home, and I also know how stressful and challenging it can be to have a dog that has some behavioral challenges. I've also seen too often, owners who give up and give their dogs back to a shelter or just leave them stranded on the side of the road if they are experiencing some of those behavioral challenges. So I wanted to play a firsthand role in our community to help dog owners live that life with their dog that they've experienced. I came across Always Faithful Dog Training and met up with Abraham here, and really connected with everyone in the franchise. Love the idea of the support that comes with being part of a national franchise, but also being able to have the autonomy as a local business owner myself. So that is a little bit about why I decided to launch Always Faithful here in Charlotte, and it's been a great ride so far.
That's awesome. How did you guys connect? I mean, did you go to a seminar and learn about different franchise opportunities? Did a friend connect you? How did that go down?
Yeah, so there is a whole world of franchise discovery and exploration that many people maybe don't know about. I had explored a variety of different options really through the help of a franchise consultant. They proposed, I'll back up. They started with a full sort of behavior assessment to understand my goals, my passions, what fulfills me, what motivates me, and made some recommendations of different franchise opportunities. We went through probably about 10 to 15 different opportunities, ranging from pet services to health and wellness to construction. And at the end of the day, I really just clicked with Always Faithful Dog Training. One, it was about something that I was incredibly passionate about. If I was going to start a business, I knew it had to be something that I would never get sick of. I will never get sick of helping dogs and their owners. Can't say the same about installing garage doors or window frames or something along those lines.
Right.
So that's how I came about it.
That's awesome. It's a very personal thing. And helping the, I'm facing a situation here where, my God, my neighbors could use you guys. God bless them. They're wonderful people. They got a beautiful golden lab, right? But when they're not home, the dog is completely psychotic. I mean, we literally can't walk outside in our backyard without him just going insane, and he'll go on for hours. He won't even stop. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, that's not a well-adjusted dog, and it can't be good for the dog, right, Abraham?
No, definitely not. It sounds like the dog's got a lot of dominance issues to be cruising in the yard with that type of character. So there's probably, you mentioned one behavior, but normally that behavior, is being stemmed out in other ways as well, but it doesn't sound good.
Tell us about Abraham and your rise to becoming, going from a startup to a nationally franchised company.
Yes, sir. So I served in the Marine Corps in 1999 to 03, got out and decided to become a dog trainer. So initially I worked with a company called Positive Paws. I was an independent contractor, and I was their only male trainer, and I had like 10 different towns I covered in my area. And I worked with a bunch of other trainers in my area that covered different towns in my area because I'm in the suburbs of Chicago. So there's a really large population here. And I learned right away that there was quite a need for training, especially with kind of my military background. I was very disciplined in the Marine Corps, and dogs, they love discipline as long as you do it the right way and appeal to their instincts. So I started there, and then the owner of that company, Positive Paws, she actually got pregnant, and when she had the child, she decided she no longer wanted to keep being a dog trainer. So then we all kind of went our separate ways, and that's when I started my own dog training company. So from '03 till 2017 was very, very successful. Had a bunch of trainers working under me. I ended up covering a bunch of different states. I would go out to Wisconsin, Iowa. People would fly me across the country. They found out about me, wanted me to be the guy to come out. Did a lot of behavior cases, really difficult cases, really aggressive dog cases. But in 2017 is when I decided to kind of take that next step and franchise the business. And that was certainly not an easy path to go down. Illinois is a franchise registration state, so I had to create my franchise disclosure documents. All those things are pretty difficult. These are big documents. They're all legal. I'm not an attorney, so went through that process and was told, you'll probably never sell one. Good luck. A lot of people want to franchise their business. My first year, I sold 7. So that was really amazing for me. It was kind of a big wake-up call. Like, this thing is going to end up being really successful.
Coming out of the gate, you sold 7 franchises in your first year.
I did.
That is great. Can I ask you, for people that are interested in following this route, how did you go about that? Did you set up, I don't know, did you advertise online? Did you set up local conferences at local hotels and advertise at local and bring people? How did you do this?
No, I actually started really small because I didn't have this big budget. You know what I mean? I had money to put towards it, but even my initial franchise disclosure document, which is required to give to franchisees in order for them to pursue your franchise legally, that got denied 4 or 5 times in a row. And the reason from the state of Illinois, the reason it got approved is because I was calling the woman in the franchise approval department who works in the Illinois Attorney General's office, and her son was a Marine. So she actually kind of took me under her wing, and she made me the deal. She's like, I'm going to help you work through this, which I'm not supposed to do. You're really supposed to spend $60,000 on an attorney and have them do it. But I'm going to go through this with you because my son's a Marine and I love Marines. And the deal that she made with me was once it got approved and I sold my first location, I would put that money towards hiring an attorney and building a real franchise disclosure document. And that's what I did because it was so expensive to do it. But I made that deal with her. Yeah, it's not an easy process. It's actually extremely frustrating and difficult because I felt like a small franchise guy like me with no brick and mortar. When I mean small, I mean, we don't cost $1 million to buy into. It's hard because they look at franchises. The Federal Trade Commission looks at franchises like we're all these, $2-5 million things with her, and I'm not. So, for those bigger organizations make a lot of sense, but for the smaller guys, it's just really difficult to get it into. So, yeah, it's difficult to get into. I've been doing it now 7 years, learned a lot. And, we went through COVID and all that. So it's been a good journey. You learn the biggest lessons when things kind of hit hard. And during COVID, we didn't sell for 2 years because nobody's going to buy a business when businesses are closed for the most part.
Right. Especially something like this where you're going into people's homes and whatnot, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, believe it or not, though, initially the first few weeks of COVID were really slow. And then all of a sudden, all of our locations had record years because, as you know, and everybody adopted dogs. And for the first time in history, all the shelters emptied out.
All right. So we're having some issues with the internet that is providing signal from Chicago through the servers and in through to my home studio here. So Abraham is pulling up his cell phone, and I think he's back online. Abraham, you with us? There you are. Looks and sounds great. Let me hear you, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Awesome. I'm loving it. Okay, so you were just telling us about how daunting of a process it was to set up a franchise. Why did you choose a franchise model anyway, rather than just doing your own thing, starting a local company, and, just riding the wave and building that to success? Why a franchise?
Yeah, I mean, the reason I chose franchising was because I had trained other trainers in other parts of the country to go establish their own business. So I'd get people that would call me and say, hey, found you online. I really like what you're doing. I see that you've trained a lot of dogs. Could I come shadow you? So I started creating programs where people would shadow me for like a week, 4 or 5 days, whatever amount of time they had to come up here. And then I would give them all the tools necessary to kind of do their own dog training business, because, you know, the biggest thing is support and understanding what you need to do in order to be successful in the industry. So I was already kind of doing it, but I was getting no benefit out of it other than that initial payment for, you know, me training them during that week, which, you know, compared to what you're going to make is not very much, because, you know, as people know, once they get into this industry, you could actually do really well dog training. So that's how I kind of started thinking about it, you know, and then I started thinking about, you know, licensing and all that stuff, because franchisors will look at licensing as well. And I met with a franchise attorney, and she told me, you know, it's no joke to get into franchising. It costs a lot of money, but there's a lot of benefits once you're in and you establish yourself. And that's kind of what it took and where I'm at now.
That is amazing. I bet you've seen some amazing success stories. It has to feel so good to be able to provide a budding entrepreneur the sense of freedom that comes with, you know, with being self-employed and having your own business.
Definitely. Yeah. I've always enjoyed that. Everybody's success is my success. So it's like, if you're not doing well, I'm not doing well. And that's the really fun part about a franchise. You know, everybody has to support one another. Otherwise, we all start to suffer. So that's why I try to create a very family oriented franchise, one big pack. I'm sure Cailyn can attest to that. I know she's only been with us 2 months, but you could see how often we have phone calls and how often we communicate with one another. We have a private online forum all the franchisees use. We share pictures, videos, ask questions. Everybody gets to know each other. We have yearly training conferences. So, you know, I'm not the franchise that's really interested in a bunch of investors coming in and hiring employees and not being attached to the business. That we do have a couple people in our franchise that are like that, but I do prefer people like Cailyn that are actively involved in the franchise, you know, and getting their feet wet and playing with some dogs all day.
Yeah. Speaking of, little Zeus seems to be getting a bit rambunctious here. He is, oh, no, he's getting a little tired. Maybe he's looking for a sweet potato treat. So, Cailyn, tell us a little bit about what attracted you to the training model. Had you had experience training dogs prior? And what makes the Always Faithful dog training model so unique, and what you find so valuable?
Yeah. So, well, first, to echo what Abraham said, you know, he really does run this like we are one family. Even going through the process of exploring different franchise opportunities, nothing felt as personal and, you know, close relations as this one. I had great conversations with a lot of existing locations. They all echoed the same experience, had one-on-one conversations with Abraham very frequently. So the level of support and involvement by the people who are actually doing the business was something that I really appreciated. In terms of my prior experience and, you know, being attracted to the Always Faithful leadership style training, you know, I didn't used to be a dog trainer. I had no prior dog training experience beyond taking my own puppy to some group classes where she would get sick from the amount of treats that we lured her to do different commands with. And then sure enough, she came to a point where now she wouldn't listen to us unless we had a treat in our hand. So that's what intrigued me about this leadership style dog training. We don't use treats, clickers, or shot collars.
You're going to be talking with my wife for our company. She handles partner relations, and she always follows up with our guests, and, you know, just talks about the process and how we may be able to refine it, make it better, work together in the future, whatever. You need to talk with her, because she keeps, when I was going through training Zeus, she kept saying to me, you got to use treats. You got to use treats. I say, and she still insists to these days when I'm trying to show him something that I have to use treats to do it. So you make sure that you have a talk with Esther about that.
Will do.
Okay, fabulous. So, Abraham, the treatless model, was this something that you discovered on your own? How did you come about discovering that? And explain the psychology of it, right? Inside the dog's head. What's going on that makes that work?
Right. So, treats bribery. So there's a couple things that are really important to a dog. One of them is obviously food because they need food to survive. And, any animal anywhere, their goal is always survival. So whatever animal you're looking at, that's always their goal. So unfortunately, in an American environment, treats, are for people, they bribe their dogs to create a specific behavior. And if they don't have the treats with them or the distraction is too high, then the treats don't even matter, right? And and there are some dogs who are not food motivated. So you'll get some of these bigger breeds sometimes that have a high working drive in them, German Shepherds, Malinois, where they don't really care about treats, or the distraction's high enough where they would override them from wanting to get the treats. So the way Americans use treats with their dogs, they just want to get those fast, quick, easy results. Another issue with treats is it can create weight issues for the dog, right? A lot of dogs get overweight from having too many treats because people will feed the dog and give them treats, and then the animals are eating all day long. So that's another issue with the treats. As far as why we don't use treats is because it's not instinctual to the animal. Our training model is instinctual, meaning we try to teach people the language of the dogs. So when we come over, we teach owners that dogs are pack animals and that they need a leader in the house. And it's your house, so you should be the leader, right? Set up some rules and boundaries, going up and down stairs first, going through doorways first, a very specific way to walk, right? Also,
Abraham,
Yeah.
you're going to have to talk with my wife about that one too.
I hear that all the time, Sam.
This little guy, he's getting to the point of ruling the house.
Oh yeah. That's 95% of our clients. We go in there and the dogs are running the house. That's very normal. I've done over 6,000 dogs. It's very rare that I would go over to somebody's house and the dog isn't the leader of the house. It's very, very rare.
Look at the guy. How can you deny him? I mean, he's so cute.
Yeah, he's tired from napping. He got up and said, "Man, that was tiring. I'm going to take another nap." Right? It's a rough life.
Oh man, this is awesome. You know what? Wow, it's dawning on me. You gave me some resources, some great web resources, right? So I'm looking at an article here: how to introduce dogs without stress, how to start puppy training, complete timelines. Your website is just full of wonderful resources that our guests can get on there and learn from. Why don't you guys talk a little bit and just guide me through these websites? I'll pull them up and let's continue to dig deeper into the Always Faithful model and just tell me which web pages to pull up. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
Awesome. So I don't remember where we left off. I think
yep.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I think you were going to pull up so you want to pull up one of the pages and then.
Yeah, but I don't remember what you were saying before I brought the dog in
Yeah.
and was talking about my wife spoiling.
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying so when we first go over to a client's house, one of the first things we go over is all those leadership things. Like the stairs,
right.
going up
Somebody
downstairs,
has. That's where it was. Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
And
okay.
the walks, and even how you feed them. So
Here
these
we
are
go.
the big deals that we correct. Very good. So Caitlyn, why don't you talk about one and I'll talk about the next one. Maybe you start with the
Sounds
middle
good.
one, Caitlyn. Yeah.
Okay. I can't see what that says.
Yeah. Now I'm still a little bit blurry. Oh, how to introduce a dog without stress.
Okay,
So
good.
go ahead with that one.
Yeah, so on our corporate website, which all of our clients have full access to, we have a bunch of different training resources and information created by Abraham and others in the corporate office. So for example, how to introduce two dogs without stress. That's actually something that we've seen a lot of requests for help for here in Charlotte. One of our very first clients was trying to introduce a new dog into a existing pack of two other dogs. So a lot of people want to take their dogs to dog parks, take them to doggy daycare, but this here really shows you the correct way to do it to ensure that it's proper socialization and safe for dogs and humans. So we have a lot of great topics that are available that we can share with our clients and the public, ranging from proper potty training to how to get your dog to stop chasing your cat, a variety of different resources that they can implement.
I love it. Well, let's dispel this myth. Can old dogs learn new tricks?
100%. Yes. Always.
What's the key to that?
It's always leadership. It's always the instinctual training. You know, our slogan is no treats, no clickers, no shock collars, no gimmicks. So it doesn't matter how old the dog is. If somebody can come in and teach the owners of that dog how to be the leader of the house, set rules and boundaries and whatnot, then the dog's going to adjust. Now, obviously, when they're older and they've been kings of the house for a long time, I mean, it's just like somebody, you know, getting demoted at work. It's not the funnest thing in the beginning, but they respect it after a while, and they, you know, it's dogs are pack animals, so their new position in the pack they'll adjust to. And remember, the pack in the wild makes a lot of adjustments, you know. So as an animal gets older, you know, there's going to be adjustments there. They're not going to be the strongest pack member anymore. Maybe they're not the biggest. So there's always adjustments. It's not unusual for a dog to have adjustments within the pack.
All right, dog training in Charlotte. Now, I see you have your local franchise set up with its own website as well. Cailyn, how has it gone? How long have you been operating here in Charlotte?
We started mid-November of 2024, so we are on full month number 3.
Fabulous. Is there anything, I have the page set up here, anything on here that you want to go over? And you have a team here. Let's go ahead and pull this up.
I do.
Tell us about your Charlotte team.
Yes. So here's our Charlotte team. These are our original trainers. We have Jennifer and Kyle, both are IDTA certified trainers. Jennifer serves the more central Charlotte, Uptown, Plaza Midwood, NODA areas, if you're familiar. And then Kyle's located more down in Matthews. So both have been a great asset to this team, and I'll continue to expand my team as our business grows. As you can see here, we offer a variety of different training programs, and we also will be looking to expand what we offer in the future. But really, our bread and butter is our obedience training programs, and then we also offer some specialty training programs like a puppy starter lesson. We have a great contact us form on our website. If anyone is interested in getting in contact with the trainer, just fill out your contact information and give us a little details on your dog. We want to get to know them. And then we will be in contact with you to come out for that initial assessment.
Now, I see you're using social media as well. You sent me a always faithful Charlotte Instagram page. Are you getting engagement from this?
Yes, our Instagram page is where we go to share all about our pack. So Always Faithful Dog Training, CLT. As you can see here, you can see all of our new pack members like Zoe, who are enrolled in one of our training programs, as well as some of our graduates who have successfully completed training. I share a variety of different upcoming events, 5-star reviews, training tips. So this is my way of sharing all the different dogs that we're working with in our community. So it's really fun. Everyone loves to see dogs on their Instagram feed.
Abraham, as far as getting the word out locally, how does your franchise, your home office, your corporate home support the local franchisees?
Yeah, so we give them a full pre-training checklist. We have a full marketing plan for all new locations that shows them how to start networking. During the initial training week, we also teach them how to do networking, how to network with local vets, groomers, doggy daycares, rescues. Those are a big one for a lot of our locations. So we have a very robust system to ensure success right away. And I'm sure Cailyn can talk about that a little bit because she's been very successful so far. And this is kind of what it's turned into. We've been able to figure out what it takes for people to hit the ground running. And sometimes we have to backpedal a little bit because the business is so strong in the beginning and you don't have enough employees to kind of keep up with it. But there's always a big demand. A lot of people need their dogs trained. So yeah, we have a very robust system. We have a very good operations manual. We're extremely vested in each location, as Cailyn was saying earlier, and we provide full support anywhere. So if there's new marketing ideas. We don't really say no. We say, hey, let's talk about it. Let's figure out if this would work. But we have a very good system right now that ensures success for each location.
I know what you need. You need a killer podcast, man.
Well, we are working on that. We launched AFD TV probably a month ago, and we launched it with our first audio book, which me and a guy named Kurt Greenwood wrote. It's called Energy, the Language of the Animals. It's actually on that page that you were on a minute ago. Mm-hmm. And Kurt Greenwood is world famous because he's done shows for Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, BBC, and he's come out to the United States twice now for Always Faithful. And he's extremely, extremely knowledgeable guy. He's kind of like a modern day Steve Irwin. He's raised packs of lions, hyenas. He's a big snake guy. Yeah, and he's very famous in the industry, the animal industry. So me and him wrote an audio book, and that was our first thing that we launched on AFD TV.
Let me pull that up. I'm going to go back to that page. Tell me where to go.
Far left, Energy, the Language of the Animals, the YouTube video. If you click on that.
There it is.
Yeah. And that's it right there. It's got over 6,000 views already. I think it's only been about 2-3 weeks we launched it. But me and Kurt are both on the audio book. Kurt talks about his 3 close encounters where he's almost died. And it was pretty good stuff. I mean, the guy got bit in the elbow by a Cape Cobra, which would have been certain death, but he's the luckiest guy on earth because it bounced off his elbow bone and didn't envenomate him. So he tells about that story. He was spearfishing in the ocean, and great white shark came up and stole a fish from his weight belt. I mean, just crazy stuff. The guy is a total maniac when it comes to wildlife, which is why I love him so much. We get along great.
That's awesome. Awesome. You got a couple other resources here, energy, training resources. Caitlyn, you want to get into any of that?
Yeah. Why don't we go into, what is leadership? The other link I sent you.
I think I had them all on. Energy, there's this. Dog training in Charlotte. And training resources. These are all the links.
It's under the Why Choose Us.
Okay.
Yeah, go to Why Choose Us. There you go. Why Leadership Training. Right?
Why Leadership Training.
Got it. All right.
Abe, if you want to speak to that.
Yeah, for sure. So that top video talks about natural environment versus artificial environment. So this is a really good one to discuss, Sam, because pretty much everything in America is an artificial environment for the dog, right? We take them into these houses, they get fed 2-3 times a day, sometimes more, and everything they do is artificial. So you're taken away from their instincts. So the dogs thrive in the natural environment, meaning being outside, being able to sniff, go on a little bit of an exploration with their owners. So we try to get owners to reconnect with the natural environment because artificial environments create artificial problems, right? So that's what most people experience. So that's what that YouTube video is about. And that's me talking about it. And then the Why Leadership Training under there, or what is leadership-based dog training, I talk about what we do and don't. We don't use treats, clickers, or shock collars. And we're not, abusive pack leaders either. Pack leaders are calm and balanced, calm and confident. So that's what that video is about, because we don't want people to misinterpret leadership training to mean like you come in there like a drill instructor. That's not fun. I experienced that for 4 months at MCRD San Diego as a Marine. But yeah, so that's what that video is about, is how to be a calm and confident pack leader and how we train.
All right, well, we got a bunch of, there's so many resources on here. Frequently asked questions, a blog. Let's look at your locations. You're really expanding. I'm going to go to your location map here.
Thank you. Yeah, you could go up to Sam and go to the locations tab. That might be better. Franchise locations by state. 2 over. There you go. 1 more over. Up high. Yep. Those are all of our locations.
Wow. Well, congratulations on your success, man. You really couldn't have picked a better place to set up shop here. That Charlotte is really a pet-friendly city. I've never experienced anything like this. I mean, they have animals in stores. You go out to restaurants and people have dogs everywhere. Very pet-friendly city, and we really welcomed that when we moved down here.
Yeah, that is part of what inspired me to pursue this business. I saw a fantastic opportunity of being in the Queen City, as you mentioned. There's breweries, restaurants galore. They're all got patios. Everyone's bringing their dogs. So I want to help my clients be able to take their dogs everywhere with them like everyone else does.
Well, let's do this. Abraham, if somebody would be interested in learning more and franchising elsewhere, what do they need to know?
Well, a lot of information's on our franchise page of the website. So if you're on the website, I invite everybody to go on there. And I also invite people to go onto our resources on the website and also our YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel link's on the website as well. Yep. That's a good video to watch.
Okay. So
Those
you
are
got everything you need
videos
on here. That's awesome.
Yeah, everything's there. I mean, it's a pretty robust information network on there. Fill out the form. That kind of starts the process. And we'll similar to Caitlyn, you go through the motions and do all the steps, and we make sure we're all a good fit for one another. We're a good fit for them, and they're a good fit for us.
That's beautiful. What a success story. This really makes me feel good. I'm so glad to see Caitlyn. Man, you're really coming out of the gate strong here. I was going through your Instagram, and I'm sure you're not posting everything up there, but there were a lot of dogs showing up there. So you've had some success. Are you starting to get repeat clients now and referrals and such?
We have started to get referrals. So
Awesome.
Word of mouth is the cheapest form of marketing and the best. But yeah, it's been a great experience so far. I'm trying my best not to get attached to all of my dogs that I'm working with.
That's got to be hard, though. I bet you some of them.
Yeah, they're great, especially seeing the changes that they go through over the course of the training program. It's great to see that.
Well, that's beautiful. Well, guys, we always put this out to our guests here. We have people watching the show that may want to support you. Is there any sort of offer that you can offer local folks that may want to contact you here in Charlotte?
Yeah, so we do offer a discount for all current or former veterans, folks in the law enforcement, firefighting. So we do offer a 10% discount for those service members. And then if you are interested and hear about us from the brand, feel free to reach out and you will get a 10% off a training package.
Beautiful. Anything else that y'all would like to add as we wrap this up?
Go ahead, Caitlyn.
No, nothing else to add. I mean, thank you so much for the opportunity and the discussion today. Great to have our co-host Zeus, and yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, he's excited, as you can see. Zeusy, look here, buddy. Say hi, say goodbye to everybody. Yeah, you're such a good boy. Hold on, nobody can hear you. Your mic was muted when I went to him. What were you saying?
I said, as soon as he heard we don't use treats, he decided to take a nap.
He's like, I'm going to bed. I don't care.
He's done.
He's like, you know what he's thinking? Mom will be home in a couple hours, and
Yeah.
she'll take care of me. Any last words, Abraham?
No, thank you so much. I'm very excited for Caitlyn. She's doing really well, and continued success. We'll do whatever it takes to make her successful.
That is awesome. Let me bring my little guy in here to take us out for the show. And we actually are going to be talking with another dog-related business here in Charlotte on the next episode of the brand that we're shooting next week. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's somebody that you even know. All right, Abraham, Caitlyn, and Always Faithful Dog Training. Let me pull that up one last time. AlwaysFaithfulDogs.com. AlwaysFaithfulDogs.com. Check them out if you're interested in starting a franchise in your part of the United States. Get hold of Abraham and get that team rolling to help benefit you. Caitlyn, congratulations on your success. And for everybody here at Charlotte Now and Atero Media, little Zeusy says thanks for watching.
Thank you, Sam. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Yeah, you guys too. I appreciate you hanging with me and fixing those technical issues. And turned out to be a good show. We got some great information here, valuable information, and we really encourage our viewers to check out Always Faithful Dog Training online and learn more. Thanks so much for coming on, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Absolutely. Well, there you have it. Cailyn Barnum and Abraham Mashal. We've learned today a lot about dog training, a treatless approach to training dogs, the new startup here in Charlotte that Caitlyn started as a franchisee, and of course the success story that is Always Faithful Dogs.com. Check them out, and congratulations and God bless Mr. Abraham for his service to this country. And wow, gotta love America. This is the American dream that we saw right here. Boom, there it is. Hard work, dedication, focus, having a purpose, and look at the success story that this young man has. And I am honored to be able to share this with you. My name is Sam Otero. That's it for this episode of The Brand, only here on Charlotte. Now, I'm going to put this out to folks watching. If you are possibly interested in having your own show on charlottenow.tv, I would love to hear from you. If you are interested in coming on The Brand as a guest, of course, we want to hear from you as well. Visit me at ateromedia.com/The Brand. Fill out the application and we'll get back with you on that if it's something that we're interested in pursuing. And of course, check out ateromedia.com for all of the services that I offer in regards to professional podcast streaming, production, studio builds and design, and live event production as well. So let me get my little co-host here again. Little Zeus, thanks, buddy. You were a good boy. Yes, you were. Yeah. You're ready for a treat, aren't you? Yeah, I know. All right. We're going to go be bad. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Otero.